Oh snap! Are we back, Yuli, with the intro game?
I mean, do we have a producer, or did you do that?
We might be back. That was actually kind of slick.
Yeah.
We had nice little music. We normally don't get nice music. So off the top, what's happening, everybody? Welcome back to Tour Life. We are back live on this beautiful April 1st, and new producer in the house. Everyone say hello to Mike, aka PDGA Mike.
I'm not showing my face if you're going to call me PDGA Mike, but I'm also afraid to show my face because I'm not positive of these layouts. So I'm just glad I didn't show up full screen just now. But yeah, I'm happy to do this. I'm excited. Got some graphics made.
We can hear your voice. That's all that matters.
April Fool's, just kidding. Back to the old production. Just blurry comes in.
Yeah, people are saying the volume is perfect. So wow, look at that. First day on the job, he's absolutely killing it. So a couple things off the top before we get into today's show. Obviously, Mike is going to be producing now for us on Tour Life. You guys might have seen him on debate night, so he might pop in too from time to time, give his takes on some things. He also might throw some stuff up if, I say a lot of crazy stuff on this show. So he might throw some stuff up, Yuli, that just completely counteracts. We might need Mike. We might need you with a encyclopedia or two. Also, contradicts. Thank you. That also might be useful. I said in my sports card video today, Yuli, I said, the line I think was like, you need to brush it over with a fine comb toothbrush, I think is the saying I went with, which I think it's
just a fine comb.
It's a fine comb, and I added toothbrush at the end. But we got PDGA Mike. Obviously, Edwin Stats is still with us, throwing up all the pickup stuff and everything like that. And then we also have Gary coming on tonight. So Gary's kind of like a little bit more of a, I don't know what his role is yet with us yet, but we might be seeing more of Gary for
he has a role.
He has a role. I don't know what it is. But tonight he's going to be coming on and breaking down the whole gambling thing for us, Yuli. So he's going to lay it all on the line.
I'm pretty sure they just stole it from us. They just stole our picks. We'll get into it later, but
he's going to lay it all on the line, explain all the different things that the Disc Golf Pro Tour is doing with the gambling. And we're going to go from there, and we'll give our takes on it. But before we get into it, how's it going, brother?
It's going good. Back home. Leave tomorrow for Arizona. So I'm home for like one day.
So what, you're skipping Music City?
Yeah, I'm skipping Music City. So my nephew's funeral is this Sunday.
Okay.
And
so you're going to be out
Saturday,
there
Sunday.
For almost half a week with the fam.
Yep.
So that, I mean, it's obviously a terrible, terrible tragedy, but the bright side, if you can look at it, you get the family.
I get to see the fam. Yeah, absolutely.
Which is
for sure.
which is awesome. You went down to Florida?
I did. I went down to Florida for the throw down the mountain.
Yep. And
second place the final round got canceled. It was pretty brutal. Here's the crazy part, okay? This guy, Clay, hats off to Clay.
Clay's a monster.
I played with Clay every single time I've been to Brooksville.
Clay Edwards, correct?
No.
Different Clay.
I played with him the first year I went there. I played with him twice the second year. And then I played with him every single round. Well, it was only 2 rounds at Throw Down the Mountain. Clay absolutely blistered the front 9, the second round.
Okay.
He birdied 1. He birdied 2. He birdied 3. He missed 4, I think, and then he aced 5.
Oh my gosh.
And then he birdied the rest of the back 9 on top of it. So he shot 9 under on the front, or the rest of he shot 9 under on the front 9.
Oh.
And so I was 1 under or something on the front 9, and he just absolutely cooked us all. And we were looking at each other, the other guys on the lead card, and we're like, I think he's about to like do an all-timer right now. Because it was kind of windy. Like, I wasn't playing that bad, missing a couple shots. That place is tough. And But I kept at one point he had me like 7 shots after I had him by 3. I mean, he was absolutely destroying. And I'm like, if I could just reel him back, go in the final 9,
get a little pressure on him.
Yeah, I'll feel pretty confident. And I did. I got a few back on the back 9. And then we come in the next day and I check out of my hotel and I look and there was a delay and it was like 3:30 tee off instead of 2:30 tee off. So I'm like, oh crap, I got a late
Is this
checkout.
weather? What's the
so I get a late checkout at 11:30, drive to the course, and I sleep in the back of the car. I'm like, all right, I'll take a little nap. I'm still tired. I went out and played some cards that night. So I'm sleeping in the back of my car. I wake up pretty fresh. I look out there. I'm like, all right, yeah, it's like 2:30. I'm going to get out and start warming up. I walk out there, go to see our Willie who had offered to caddy for me, and it was going to storm. So I'm like, yeah, I need this guy.
Yeah, I need someone.
And he's like, oh, yeah, here's the umbrella. He looks at me like silly. And I'm like, okay. And I like walk over there. And then I see like a guy who should have been on the course already.
Oh, no.
And then another guy. And then I see a Masters guy who was supposed to be on the course. And I'm like, what the heck? And they're like, yeah, like if you get on the course, it's going to be like 5:30. And I'm like, oh, shoot. 20 minutes later, craziest storm comes, lightning strikes everywhere, cancel the whole round. I get in the car and I leave. I drive through the craziest storm. Lightning just 90 feet away. I'm like, what the heck? Trees are blowing over. Branches are in the freaking road. Hail's coming down on the car. I'm like, dude, what is this?
You're solo in the car?
Beautiful skies, blue skies, nothing.
That's Florida for you.
It was crazy. I go over there and then I talked to Kenny and he's like, yeah, for some reason it was just this little clump over Brooksville the whole day. He's like, nothing anywhere else. Yeah. So that was the story.
Florida's the only place I've ever seen a wall of rain. like stuff that you see in the movies. I was playing, it was a high school golf tournament. That's all. I don't remember what course it was, but I was like in the rough and I look up and you just see this like wall just coming right at you. And it was the craziest thing I've ever seen. Because normally it just like it sprinkles and you're like, oh, and then all of a sudden it starts raining more and more. No, this was like, you could see it coming. It was nuts. Yeah. Florida storms are wild.
But shout out to Clay. Nice win. He played great, did what he had to do. And then next day I got to film with Kenny. So I got to round at Cliff Stevens with him. Yeah. I just posted the first video on my YouTube channel, which is doing great. People are loving it. And
that's awesome.
I'm here to tell you, Kenny's still freaking good, dude. No, like he ain't just good. Like the guy is elite good.
This is my point. We talked a little bit about it on debate night. You guys will hear that. Trust me, it's an all-time debate night. We went Tattar, versus Paige Pierce. So all-time debate night coming up on Thursday. But like that's always been my thing is everyone for some reason loves to give out the excuses of like, oh, they're just getting older. Oh, they're just getting older. And it's like disc golf isn't a sport. Disc golf isn't a sport that like once you hit 35, all of a sudden you're like terrible. Like I don't know why people love giving excuses for people, and I get it, but like it's not like football.
No.
Like if you're a 35-year-old cornerback, that's crazy in football. You're a 35-year-old running back, that's crazy in football. Disc golf is not football. Like you can beat Kale. We just were talking about Kale. Kale's what, 42 now? Yeah.
He's not 57 like Kenny though.
No, I know, but I'm saying like I watched Kenny play a year or 2 years ago, so he would have been 55. The dude still got it. So it's like I just never understand the argument if people are like, oh, where they're getting older, that's why they're not winning anymore. It's like, no, what?
Yeah. If it's a calm day, and he's at any tournament that we play, he's going to play well. Now, when it gets windy, he throws flippy or plastic. He's getting older. Distances come back a little bit. Like that happens. The courses are a little bit longer. It's obviously going to be tougher, but dude, the guy shreds.
Yeah, his whole thing was just durability.
Just go watch the first hole. The very first hole I filmed with him.
that was his whole thing, is from all the he did roofs, right? That was like his career,
I think so.
roofing,
Drywall or roof. Yeah.
yeah, which is
think it was
really
roofing.
really hard on the back. So like that is like but if you're just if you've been a disc golfer since you're like 18 and you're like 35, unless you've had like some serious injuries, there's not really, you can't really pull the like I'm getting old card. That's why I'm bad.
And the thing about him is he's still got a crazy passion for the game. Like we're playing and we're coming up on the back nine and he's like, "Oh, hey, let me throw this lefty for you." I'm like, "What?" Throws a lefty, and then he gets to like a few holes later. He's like, "Yeah, I've been working on my sidearm. Like I don't need to, but I really want to learn the sidearm. Like this day and age, I see everybody throwing the sidearm." Man. And he's just ripping sidearms. First time, 57 years old. He's like, "Yeah, I'm trying to learn a sidearm." I'm like, all right, this guy's. It was a fun weekend. It was a fun weekend. I'll tell you that much.
April Fools. Disc golf might not be allowed to do April Fools, Yuli.
No, it's bad.
Because I don't know about you guys, but there were so many times where I couldn't tell if it was real or not, because you see some of the craziest things in disc golf, to where like when I saw that like OTB was going to have a blimp, I was like, that might actually happen. I don't know. Like I just feel like disc golf is one of those things where you see stuff happen all the time throughout the year where you're like, oh my God, I can't believe they're doing that. I can't believe they're doing that. To where when April Fools comes around, a lot of these jokes, I'm like, those seem very realistic.
Well, and then the Pro Tour drops we're going to have gambling.
Yeah, which is, and they're like, no, guys, trust me, this is real. So yeah, I don't know. We'll get into the Sprinkle Valley here in a little bit too, because that was another one that did it. But yeah, I feel like there was a lot of April Fools going around where I honestly could not tell if it was real or not. To wrap this up too, before we go into the gambling here, I'm headed out to Nashville tomorrow, so I'll be up there. I think I'm doing a practice round.
Are you doing the Monday qualifier?
No.
What?
It's Tuesday.
Oh yeah. I guess it's on Mondays. I don't know. I've never tried to qualify.
You just said Monday qualifier. Why would that Monday qualifier be on Wednesday?
Oh, did I say Monday qualifier? Dang.
Yeah. They might have a Wednesday qualifier. I don't know.
No, they definitely don't. I'm an idiot.
I haven't thrown anything over like the length of my backyard. So I'm taking it very easy. I'm easing back into it. Thinking about jumping into this tournament would be probably a bad idea.
Yeah.
But I do have a practice round with Ezra Robinson and Hunter and Trevor. I don't know if that's being filmed or something, because it's like we have like a disc golf pro tour like tea time on Wednesday. So I don't really know what's going on. Obviously Hunter and Trevor aren't in the tournament. So I'm assuming, I don't know if we're filming that for our channel or whatnot, but I'll be doing that. And then I'll be out at the tournament as well, watching. We're going to be filming some other stuff too around Nashville as well. But I'll be there until Saturday. So if you see me out there, come say what's up. All right, Mike, we are going to push it to our sponsor of today's podcast. So let's see if we get that rolling whenever you are ready. Springtime is here and baseball season is officially underway. Don't miss your chance to add your favorite players from the diamond in your Prize Picks lineup. Whether it's strikeouts, RBIs, or first inning runs, take your pick of more or less for your shot to win up to 1000x your cash today. On Prize Picks, you can mix and match player projections from different sports. Combine your favorite baseball players with players from basketball, hockey, esports, and much more. Prize Picks is the best way to win real money this baseball season. Which players are going off? Which ones aren't? Make your picks in less than 60 seconds and turn your sports takes into real money all season long on Prize Picks. This week on Prize Picks, I'm looking at the baseball board and selecting Shohei Ohtani for more than one home run and Julio Rodriguez for more than one stolen base. Download the app today and use code TOURLIFE to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. You heard that right. Download the app today and use the code TOURLIFE to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, run your game. All right. Let's bring him in, Gary. He's been ready for this all day. When it was announced, we're super mini.
What's up, guys?
We're super mini.
Tiny little guys. We're tiny guys.
Hey, look at that. Hey, there we go. All right, mini. I like it. Okay, so Gary, today of all days, let's first talk about that. What are your guys' thoughts on the Disc Golf Pro Tour deciding that April 1st they were going to drop the news that there's going to be gambling in disc golf?
Well, first thoughts are hilarious.
They're like, no, serious guys.
No, I'm
This
being
is real.
serious. We're talking about it, so maybe a nice choice.
Yeah.
But you could.
We're going to talk about it no matter what.
Yeah, you could. Maybe they just dropped it today because they knew Tour Life was going on tonight.
Hey, respect.
Appreciate that.
Gary, thoughts on that? April Fools, great time to drop actual news.
Because I think you said there's a precedence in disc golf where things April Fools may or may not actually be April Fools jokes, and the fact that we are all talking about it, I guess one could argue that it was a good idea. Maybe it's just the fact that it lined up with the particular podcast that Jeff wanted to be on. So,
Gotcha. Okay, fair enough. All right, so break it down for us. I mean, obviously, they make this news. Everyone's got questions. Everyone's saying, well, what does that mean? Are players going to start shaving strokes? And are we going to see, illegal gambling? And, everyone's got, am I going to become a millionaire? Because let's remember, Prize Picks, they came into the disc golf and they were like, we don't really know how to set lines. And a lot of people made a lot of money. And so they are like, deuces, I'm out. How is this going to be different? Setting lines with weather, with courses. Is there lines? Let us know what we got here, Gary.
Yeah. So today it was kind of crazy. Just kind of scrolling through my thing, and I see that we have an announcement on the All Birdies No Bogeys podcast, and Jeff's on there talking about how betting's gonna be a thing. And I kind of initially took it as, oh yeah, this is April Fool's Day. Haha, got me. But as the conversation got into it, became very obvious that it was a serious thing, because he was talking about how it's not just, what we're used to. It's going to be regulated markets, and it's going to be the daily fantasy stuff. So they're going to be working with DraftKings. So all of their actual betting and the lines and everything, they're working with a company they announced a while ago called Alta Sports Data. And that's the company who kind of works with them. They have major betting platforms they work with, like DraftKings, FanDuel, BetMGM, and a bunch of other ones. And they work with, they partner with organizations like Formula One, X Games, curling. That's automatically respect in my book.
Love
if they're
that.
working with curling. But like Pro Motocross, World Surfing League, all that kind of stuff. And their job is to really create like a data-driven algorithm that creates the betting markets, creates the lines, and make sure that everything's working. And then they also have a partner with, which they announced over a year ago, with IC360, who was formerly known as US Integrity, and their job is to essentially, if Alt Sports Data's job is to figure out what the lines are, then IC360's job is to make sure that everyone's playing by the right rules and that the integrity of the betting process is maintained throughout everything. So that's kind of the background of who they're getting involved with and kind of how they're going to try to make it work. But essentially what we're going to see is, they talked about how they've been doing some testing. It's been over a year in the making, and how they've been using the first 3 events of the year to sort of test drive the stats, make sure things are working, make sure the lines make total sense. And so far in their end, they see that it is. So they're going to have the regulated markets open up. It's going to be in 6 different localities. You've got Arizona, Colorado, Illinois, Oregon, and Nevada. If for only a casino only. It is a funny idea that someone walks to a casino specifically to bet on disc golf. So that's kind of fun to think about, but also Canada, including Ontario, and then all of Mexico. But they're also working with daily fantasy sports, which is something I think a lot more people are used to, at least in, the modern landscape of sports. A lot of people do fantasy. especially with one of the partners they're already working with is going to be Hold My Bag, which is a daily fantasy app that's been running now for over a year, doing like free fantasy games each week where you can go in and pick players and make a lineup and you can win some kind of cool stuff. But they're also talking about working with Underdog, a daily fantasy sports platform, which obviously isn't just disc golf, and they're approved in 31 states and Washington, D.C. So they're trying to be very specific about how they go about this. And Jeff kind of made the point several times that they're using this as sort of like a pilot season.
Okay, so let's go back a little bit.
Mm.
What, it's Thursday morning. What am I guess Friday morning. This is a Friday, Saturday, Sunday tournament. It's Friday. Wait, is this a Friday, Saturday, Sunday tournament or Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday?
Friday.
Starts on Friday. Thank you. Okay, so it's Friday morning. What am I looking at? Like what, I live in Nevada. What am I looking at? What can I bet on? What because I saw some people talking about that. Oh, don't worry, there's not going to be point shaving because it's all like there's nothing that says like this person's going, because Prize Picks was like, are they going to shoot over and under 60 today? What can we actually bet on?
Yeah, so one of the biggest concerns they had were what would actually be the things people are betting on, like you said. So it's going to be final scores only. It's going to be things that are there's going to be no in-game betting, so there's not going to be things that are happening during the actual tournament itself. Once the tournament starts, everything's locked until the tournament is over. They're trying to keep the limit set kind of low for this first early on adoption process, and they're really shying away from stats being a part of anything, which I think we can all agree with, because the stats have not been a very accurate thing. We've got players who are missing statistics. I think there was an example at Waco where AB tapped in a 2-foot putt, but it was listed as a 20-foot putt. So statistics are a little bit odd right now, and they're talking about how if they ever want to get into the realm of statistics, they're going to have to invest in some greater technology, maybe do some training of the score and stat keepers on the ground, and even potentially have the same score keepers kind of travel with or come back to events and work them. So I think it's going to just be right now final scores. They're going to keep it very easy in terms of like who's winning and that stuff like that.
Okay, first off, let's just talk about these lines that just popped up here.
Yeah,
freaking Mike just popped. Who is it? 134 has got to be moving, right? How is Kristen plus
bet it,
one?
Bet it now. Bet it fast. Bet
34
your whole entire life savings.
And Gannon is plus 166. How are they that close?
Not even to mention
minus money.
Not even to mention the fact that Kristen's going back to be a potential three-peat winner at plus 134, and the disrespect to Simon Lizotte at plus 1264. Yeah,
yeah. I mean, I would think if you just like, hey, guess the line, I would put like Kristen at like minus 150.
I would almost put it at minus like 250, honestly.
Like that is crazy.
Like, honestly.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't. Who's making these lines, Yuli?
Well, he just told you.
No, I know, but I'm saying. Yeah, I mean, I guess max bet is $100 for the first event. So
just make like 75 different accounts.
Yeah, one of the things that just to clarify, I know a lot of people are kind of asking like where these are from. The source for here is Ultiworld. There's a few different places that I've looked to see where they've been posted. I haven't been able to find them yet, but they had access to these lines, so that's kind of where these are from. So take them with a grain of salt. But it's kind of crazy looking at these numbers. Kind of makes you feel like we're on another prize pick.
So if you scratch out Kristen, scratch out Gannon, who do you guys like?
First off, real quick, just gotta say, don't bet your life savings on this. Bet responsibly. Just gotta throw that out there.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, looking at this, I don't hate Chris Dickerson at plus 2,200. He plays really well at this course, and we haven't seen him. I mean, we're back in Tennessee. This is his stomping ground. We haven't seen him really pop off. Is it crazy to think that this could be the tournament he pops off and wins? We've seen it before. I don't hate Chris here at that. I mean, I'm respectfully, I'm not touching an FPO player.
Yeah, I mean, also historically, Chris
Please don't
finished
clip
in
that.
fourth. He finished in fourth last year, so he does do well at the course. So, but I mean, take a stab on anyone down that list. I don't mind tossing a couple bucks just in Simon's plate because he loves this course. He does really well here, and that line is too juicy.
I like Evelina.
Mhm.
That's the one. Like, that's the one. If you're gonna take a flyer, you take Evelina, because if she makes any sort of putts, she's gonna be the one that's contending.
Or if it gets windy out there, we know that. If it gets super windy and putting doesn't really matter anymore,
Evelina's odds
no
are
one's
great.
making putts. That's honestly not a bad pick there.
Yeah.
Okay, so I love this. I love that we're getting odds now for winning. I think that's great. Do they have? Are they maybe advancing, or is there talk about advancing for like top 5s, top 10s? I think there's something in golf that's really fun where it's like, you pick a handful of people. Oh, what is that? What is that? There's a bet in golf where it's like, Mike, do you know what I'm talking about? It's different than any other sport of where it's like, it's gonna annoy the crap out of me. I can't think of it right now. But there's some dark horse bet that you can do in golf that's actually pretty exciting, where it's like they can't win. Or so, I don't know. It's not a parlay. No, it's not a parlay. Something else. But are they advancing anything? Are we going to see more than what we're currently seeing with just the odds? Obviously, there's a great starting point, but
yeah, he wasn't very non-commit. It was, didn't really say one way or another that they were going to do more, but he wants to do more over time. The problem is, they want to just treat this first year very safely, because I think in his perspective, and it's a pretty rightful thing to say, there is an idea or conception around betting from a lot of people that this isn't the way the sport needs to move. Some people are feeling this is the only way the sport needs to move. So I think taking, like, tippy-toeing through this first year is kind of what they want to do, and why they're trying to keep it like a pilot season, just to make sure they do it right, that the integrity is maintained. And there's also some things, if you look at the policy, the gambling policy, there are some areas in there where I'm hesitant to see how they're going to be able to really make sure they're followed properly. So there's I think a lot they have to deal with just the little bit they've released before they even consider going any further.
So here's a great question. How much impact will officially introducing fantasy sports and betting into disc golf have on the Pro Tour? Will it introduce disc golf to a significant new audience? Are we going to see people that love to put a little money on some games and tune in? Are we going to see that with this?
I don't think we'll see necessarily new people being like, "Ooh, I can bet on disc golf. I want to watch it." Well, no, I can bet on disc golf, so now I'm going to watch it. I think it's going to be the same people who watch already, but I do think viewership will go up. It has to, because when you have something on the line, as far as betting goes, like, I'm not going to stay up till 12 o'clock watching the LA Laker game over on the West Coast. But if I got some money on it on a nice parlay, you better believe I'm going to stay up and watch that game. So if I'm doing it with basketball, I think that there's going to be a size, I would say even a sizable impact on it.
Yeah, I think it's the difficult thing. And, one of the references that Jeff made us out, he really got into baseball. I think about my journey when it comes to fantasy sports with football. I never got into football more than I ever did when I discovered fantasy football. The problem is that when we talk about betting and sports and fantasy and all that, almost every person recognizes, without even having watched it before, that baseball is a professional sport, that basketball is a professional sport, football is a professional sport. But there are a lot of people out there who don't know that disc golf is a professional sport. So I think there's going to have to be a combination here of, hey, we're going to put this out there so that you can bet on, but they still have to go capture attention of people and bring them into the fold of, like, hey, this is an opportunity for you. And I don't want to say that we're going to rely on just the people who are really, really attentive to their sportsbook app to notice that the disc golf is a thing. So I think it's to say this is going to be a saving grace for disc golf, we have to be careful of. And at the same time, we need to go out and be able to still attract people to the sport. One of the things I like that they're doing is they're offering a free month of the Disc Golf Network for people who are going into these sportsbook things. So it's kind of encouraging people to say, hey, we're going to bet on live sports for disc golf, but also come watch live sports. Here's a free month. So I think that's a pretty good combination they're doing to try to get people to come in and watch and also bet.
Yeah, my hesitation to say that this is all of a sudden going to bring in a new audience is the fact that you can't watch it live for free. That's a big one. It's not going to be on a streaming platform that you already have access to. You're going to place a bet. Let's just say you stumble upon it, right? You stumble upon it. You're on DraftKings or whatever site, and you stumble upon it, and you place a bet. I don't see you then going to be like, all right, how do I watch this? And be like, oh wait, I have to now pay for a subscription to watch. Like I don't foresee that happening very often. So
hey, maybe you win the first bet and then it's paid for though. You know
to say the lines are that juicy.
Hey, well, what about this thought? Like you said, there was a couple casinos where you can walk in and do it. Are they going to have it in their sports book, like disc golf on the big screen with like some people chilling?
Yeah, I guess so. Right?
You'd have to, right?
Or at least someone could say something and be like, "Hey, can you put that on?" And
but they'd have to have a subscription.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be one of those things where if enough people did it, they probably would have to look into it potentially. Maybe I don't know.
I don't
but
think the casino's going to be like, nah, what? $16 a month. I don't think I can do that or whatever.
Yeah, I'm with Gary until the sport becomes at least mainstream in the sense of people see disc golf, people hear disc golf, and they know what it is. They know there's a professional sport. I don't think this is really going to move the needle to bring a new audience in initially, but
it helps.
Yeah. It can't hurt. It can't hurt. And I think I'm with you. I think the watch time that this will add. Now, something that I would love to see the Disc Golf Pro Tour do, which I think other sporting networks do a little bit, is they know what bets are out there. They know what's going on. So obviously here, this is mainly just what we're showing right now. This is mainly just, are they going to win or are they not going to win? But down the road, there could be, are they going to make the cut? Are they going to make a top 20? Are they going to make a top 10? And that's where, if I'm Disc Golf Pro Tour, if I'm the Disc Golf Network and I'm showing that, I think that's a storyline. Now, maybe you maybe don't dive into it on air being like, oh, we're going to look to see if people are cashing in. But if you know that AB, a lot of people probably have AB getting a top 10 finish, maybe not a bad thing to just show him at the end of his round with a putt to maybe finish in the top 10, right? So we might see some more storylines like without them actually saying it.
Also them, promoting it and showing the lines and stuff, you'll get more people on there to go.
Yeah, it's weird though, because it seems like a lot of networks kind of shy away from ever talking about it.
Golf, they do it a lot that I've seen. I've watched a couple tournaments lately, and they're starting to do it to where they're like, if you would have put a bet at the beginning of the guy who's leading, and then they'll show the odds or whatever on that.
I don't know. Maybe player. I know football doesn't. I know football tries to really stay away from like over talk, like, oh, the over just hit, or if they get it one more. So I don't.
Well, when Patrick ran back and kneeled it in the end zone or whatever.
Oh, and lost.
They talked about it on the live.
Lost some yards. Yeah.
Well, yeah, because then the over hit because he did that.
Well, I think there's like I don't know. Maybe it's just like the whatever that phrase or saying is. Risque. No, what's that word?
You can do it.
Taboo. I think it's like a taboo thing where there might not be rules in place, but it's something that everyone
stay away.
I guess, yeah. Which
I don't think
know.
It's like that though for golf or disc golf.
So, well, maybe. I mean, for disc golf, if there is no reason not to, then yeah, for sure, talk about it.
One of the other big things I think that was talked about, especially from Jeff's perspective, is he mentioned that it would be really good for both awareness and partnerships in the sport. So not just the viewership, but also getting strategic partners and then also raising the economy of the sport. So I I think it's gonna be interesting. To me, it feels like an add-on to disc golf to help make it better, but it's not like the solution yet.
What about Gary? What about players betting on themselves?
So that obviously is one of the biggest concerns. If you look at all of the different places that have covered this already, there's dozens and dozens of comments of people like, well, they're going to bet on themselves. We're going to have stroke shaving, all this stuff. And that was one of the biggest concerns that Jeff kind of dove into. And that's where he brought up, there's a really, really well fleshed out gambling policy that now is up on the DGPT site that they had the help from their strategic partners to create. So to save everyone's time, I read the document for you, so you don't have to. It's really interesting that the way it works is essentially covered individuals. In this case, that includes obviously all the players, but covered individuals are full-time and part-time DGPT staff, employees, owners, officers, directors, and then competitors, trainers, coaches, event officials, security personnel, event day personnel at the venue, even spotters, scorekeepers, scorers, anybody who even marks a competitive area, they are considered covered individuals under this policy, and they may not, under any circumstances, gamble on DGPT sanctioned events or PDGA pro majors. They can't do it directly. They can't do it indirectly. One of the things that's really interesting, though, is they have a specific subsection that talks about the daily fantasy stuff, because that's a little bit different than just the regular sports lines. And what they say is that participation in these leagues can create an actual or a perceived conflict of interest because of potential insider knowledge that pros may or may not have, or I'm sorry, the covered individuals may or may not have. And there are two exceptions to that rule, and that's leagues that award no prizes or things of value, or leagues that award cash or things of value valued at less than $250. Yeah. Now, the reason I bring that up in terms of its significance is one of the partners that Jeff had brought up, which is Hold My Bag, runs their free entry to their weekly game. And that free entry has a top prize of a $300 gift card to a retailer. So technically that prize is over the $250 limit. And there are pros who have openly acknowledged today on a live, one of the pros acknowledged who his picks were for Music City. Oh, no. So my question is,
oh no.
Yeah. So my question is this policy a live document now, in which case somebody just outed themselves as violating the document, or is it not active until the start of Music City, in which case they outed themselves as violating it if they don't remove their account immediately? And they named all the other pros who said they like to use this platform. So that is an area where it's like, did they consider that kind of thing? And who's to say the prize on that particular platform is always going to be big enough? I'm sure they're going to adjust and bring it down.
Sure.
But for this particular event, it is kind of interesting that this announcement happened. This went up, and then there's that. So that's the one way of protecting, hopefully, that players don't bet on themselves indirectly or directly.
I heard that it's like $250 across all sports. So like professional football players, baseball players, they can play fantasy, but it can't exceed the $250 threshold.
Yeah, the key is the DGPT sanctioned. They're using the word sanctioned events, so they have to be very, very wary of the DGP stuff. But obviously, they're not going to, keep someone from playing a fantasy football league.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Well, fascinating stuff, Gary. Appreciate you hopping on. We'll see. Who are you taking a stab at any? If you could place a wager, or what would be your bet going into this weekend?
Yeah, sadly, I live in Pennsylvania. We're not on any of the lists of any of the approved states to do any of this stuff, so I'm sticking to the free things for now. But it's really hard to bet against Kristen, especially coming off a really dominant performance at Jonesboro, where she decided to tell everyone, yes, I am that person. But for the MPO side of things, I really want to see the three-peat. I really want to see 3 guitars go into that man's house. I'd love to see Simon take it down. So I'm going to put my money on Simon if I had to.
All right, Simon and Kristen there. Well, Gary, appreciate you hopping on, brother. You're always welcome. Have a good night, my man.
Dang, are we like a better like fantasy gambling podcast? I feel like that went really good, Gary.
I feel like that was pretty. We might have to have Gary on just for fantasy and gambling for the future.
Yeah.
All right, let's jump over to it. Mike, do you want to talk about this? Because my what's the right word? Excitement towards it isn't really high. But the match play, Yuli, was announced today. It's going to be at the end of the season after the tour championship. So I believe it's the second weekend in November. And, you know, I mean, I guess Yuli, what are your takes on it? So before we get maybe Mike to come on here and talk to us about it.
I don't really understand it completely. I probably would if I was playing in it a little more, but my first thought is cool that they're doing something else. Cool that there's going to be, I think they're going to showcase more stuff, more disc golf for people. I think if it were me, I don't like it. Come up with an actual match play tournament, have the top 64 guys compete for, let's say, a whole week or something, and then
4 days.
4 days, and have like people moving on who are 3 and 2 and 2 and 3 and
you
blah,
could do
blah, blah,
pools like that too. That'd be cool.
100%. So that way you're still trying to play for the cash line and all that stuff. Like, 4 and 1s make it to wherever, and a 4 and 1 guy can go into undefeated. Like, that stuff's fun. That's really cool. And we actually did that back in the day. It was called the Players Cup. And it was my favorite tournament that we played all year long. And it was awesome. And I think people would dig it. You'd have underdog stories everywhere. I think you could do it with like maybe 12 holes is what they did. And I think that worked really well.
I don't hate it. If it's 12 good holes, I don't hate it.
Yep. 12 good holes. So the you can get multiple rounds in really quick, get people in and out, all kinds of stuff. That's what I would want to see. And I think I have a pretty good pulse on the people who watch the sport, and I think they would like that too. I think this is a little bit confusing.
Yeah. Also, Mike just threw up the matches, like the actual who's playing who.
Like that. This is all great. I think the best one, the one that I would want to watch and I would tune in for without a doubt, would be Luke Humphreys, because he's obviously the underdog. That's who I'm watching. I want to see Luke take down Chris Dickerson. Like, that's what I want, because he's an underdog. You get what I'm saying? Other than that,
but they said that
the Ricky Paul match is great. The Ricky Paul match is great.
Not really anymore though. They're friends now.
But it's still great. That's not going to change. Because I'm telling you right now, I want to watch it. So if I want to watch it, other people.
That's fine. I'm saying it could have been better.
Oh, sure. Okay. But that's my take. I think it's too small, but I like that they're doing something else.
But Mike, am I wrong here? Did I see something that they announced like there wasn't any really rhyme or reason for these matchups?
They haven't shown how the groups got picked. Like Group A is Gannon being an all-star. But as far as why they're in the ones they are, it doesn't really appear to have a rhyme or reason. I think they kind of handpicked some of these matchups for intrigue-wise, it seems.
There's 2 directors' picks. I know that.
Directors' picks.
Yeah.
So the 2 director picks are Luke and Ezra.
So to get into the tournament.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Or to get into the match play event. So is this thing separate than the thing that they have going? Like, isn't there like a match play qualifier or something this week at Music City?
I think there's just matches.
Yeah. So those are the matches. So there's matches before Music City, and there's matches.
That's these are going to be
correct. Yes.
And then what's at the end of the year?
So based on these matches this week at Crowcole, at Idlewild, and at Green Mountain, it'll put a championship group together, which will play at Hornets Nest in a 2-day event, or 3 days in November.
And how many people is that? Like 4?
I think it's 4. So 2 matches the first day, and then 1 match the second day.
Interesting. Okay, so we're starting with 16. They're going to play throughout the season to whittle it down to 4 that will then play at the end.
Yeah, and I mean, I think you guys were kind of mentioning having it just be an event, and that would probably be ideal. And I think a lot of this might be a financial thing of just what makes the most sense. Does it make sense to have a entire weekend dedicated to this versus kind of using the weekends they already have? I think that's a part of it. I think ideally it'd be its own thing. And I think it's a little bit of a mistake having the finals after the entire season's basically over and expecting people to have interest in this and go and have fans in November when everything else is over. But, you know, from a logistics standpoint, I can see why they would do this.
See this, I think it's a little bit of a play on trying to get subscriptions for that month of November, right? Like if I have my my DGN subscription and I'm looking and I see that, oh, like the tour championship's the first weekend of November, and then after that there's nothing, and I'm already on the fence of whether or not I care about the tour championship, I might just cancel at the end of October and not have it in November, December, you right? And so maybe there is a play here to try to get another
so just
event.
have a tournament then of a match play tournament then.
I agree. I think no one's going to really remember or pay attention to these matches throughout the season. I think we're paying attention to the Music City Open.
And if you're going to have these matches, why not make more matches? Like what is the drawback from having the 64 people? You can have them play today. You can have them play tomorrow.
Yeah, where we
have them. You have to meet up at some point during this time, and you can go to whatever course you want to. I don't know.
Are we watching this week? Like, am I watching one of these matches this week?
I haven't seen anything about that.
Or is this going like, is this just happening and then there's be like, oh, Gannon beat AB on?
It says it's going to be streamed on the YouTube channel.
Oh,
cool.
Okay, like
that is cool.
On Thursday, I guess, the day before the event.
First group play round, to be clear, just the first group. So just this week, I think, and then the rest will be on for pro and standard subscribers.
Kind of dark horse too for these guys to be like, yeah, let me just play a match play event,
and they had no idea about
the day before my tournament, right? Like, does that? I don't know. I mean, most people don't care, but I bet if we were playing for a lot more money in these tournaments, some people would be like, no, I'm using the last day to prepare for the tournament.
I just think they're missing the biggest part about match play, which I keep bringing it up, is number 64. Who's like, look who's 64th right now on the tour.
That's all guess. That's all guess.
Okay. All right.
Tour points after 3 events. Number 64 is going to be
Noah Meitzma.
Evan Scott. Gavin Babcock. Evan Scott. That's my guess. Edwin said Casey White. That's an interesting one. But no, I'm with you. March Madness, it's happening right now. Everyone's claiming this to be one of the boringest March Madnesses we've seen in a while.
No upsets.
No upsets, no really buzzer beaters, nothing like really crazy happening. And I don't know, we're really watching. I know this is everyone's reason that the feature card should be like different people, but I've always disagreed with that because those are the people that are going to get butts in seats. You got to pick those people on feature cards. You can't be having like dark horse people on feature cards. Jason Layson, 64th. Never even heard of that person.
Bam. Gets up. He's
Lawson.
playing.
Jason Lawson. Still don't know who that is.
Jason goes up and he plays
Gannon
in a 12-hole match.
Well, actually, Adam right now is number 1.
Plays Adam in a 12-hole match.
Anything can happen, baby.
Anything can freaking happen, man. That's fun. That's good TV.
Yeah. I'm with you on that. Let's see some upsets. Let's see some crazy stuff happen. And you don't have to film every match. Like, you don't have to film every match live, but you can like make like cool little highlights and stuff, and people would watch that.
I mean, don't you want to see Luke just take down Gannon?
Well, yeah. I mean, their battle at Waco was pretty cool.
Right. Or who's Luke play the first round? Chris, is that right?
It it looked like it was Dickerson, potentially.
That's what I'm thinking. That they're playing 18 holes.
Or is it Matteo? It's one.
I think it's Chris.
You're right. It's Chris. Yeah. So I mean, we'll see. We'll see. I mean, I think match play definitely has a place in disc golf for like a standalone event. I don't know if I would put it at the end. That's the crescendo. That's where we're going out on is a match play event. So I think they missed the ball there a little bit, but hey, they're trying new stuff. All right, Music City Open preview. It'll be interesting to see. This course always seems to add new stuff, change the holes around. They're not afraid to change like where you're starting. They've done that before. So it'll be interesting to see kind of how the course plays out. I'm playing it, like I said, tomorrow. So I'll have a little bit, obviously, better knowledge of that. Are they adding OB? Is that one hole that's terrible still in existence? But the thing with Music City that really jumps out, like the big storyline for me at this tournament is really the weather. That always is like the big wild card because we've seen this course does not do good with water, doesn't drain well, and we've seen the course just play completely different in the wind. So that's something that that I'll be looking at this upcoming week is how the weather is going to be. But yeah, I mean, showing the results from last year, Simon kind of took it down. Paul, like I said, Chris Dickerson always plays well here. Big Germ, actually. Good finish with Big Germ there, too. 15th place. So we'll see what happens. All right. We ready for our pick'em picks here?
I'm ready.
We're not. Hey, Haley King is supposed to play. Haley King is supposed to play this tournament. So we are going into this week with we have 76 points to Griplock's 36.8. So we're beating him by double. So we have a pretty big lead, but we have to continue it. So I mean, if it's not broke, don't fix it here, Yuli. I think again, you're looking at those odds. I think we'd be dumb not to take Kristen. I think it's just if I'm looking at the three guys in the $7, Gannon hasn't proved yet that he's just a top 5 machine this year.
Yep.
Ricky's solid and AB's solid, but I think Kristen almost might need to be in her own like $8 column. Of where it's like you actually only get
we're just gonna keep picking her the whole time,
right? We're just spamming Kristen. Okay, so we're gonna spam Kristen at the 7. So that means we got to go a 2 and a 1. So let's go over the 2s. Who do we like here in the 2s?
I mean, Haley. Come on.
Really?
Yeah.
Open bag?
Yes.
You're picking Haley over Simon, the double champ.
Oh, I got you. I got what you're saying. No. Oh, it's all together? I thought it was separate. Is that what we've been doing the whole time?
Yeah, don't we just pick 3 people?
Well, no, you got to pick 2.
Am I crazy?
I think you're crazy. They're separate.
A team of 3 MPO and 3 FPO. I'm an idiot. I am crazy. Sorry, Edwin. That was disrespectful of me to forget. Okay, let's go FPO first. Spamming Kristen.
Haley.
All right. Haley. The only one that for some reason is calling my name right now is Rebecca Cox. I don't know why.
I see it, but I'm telling you, hey, just trust me on this one. Let's go. Trust.
If Haley DNFs, I'm going to look at you.
We'll still have so many points with Kristen.
I'm going to sternly look at you if Haley DNFs this tournament.
Okay.
Okay. Any other FPO players?
Let's just keep going with Likey.
She'll eventually get one for us. Okay, we'll go there. So those are our 3 for FPO. MPO. Do we change the strat here? Like if we're going off of stats, it makes sense to go like Dickerson, Paul, Simon.
Yeah.
Like, is that crazy? Those three guys play really well at this tournament.
And
If
then
we're-
a $1 guy.
No, that's 10 right there.
Oh, where's Simon?
Simon's a 2.
Okay.
So we go Dickerson for $4, Paul at $4, and then
Well,
we
hold
take
on.
Simon
hold
at
on.
2.
How about-
Otherwise, we can.
How about we
Goose man.
just let's spam $2 bills? Why
We
don't
only
we
get
go?
3 though. We only get 3.
You can. Oh yeah. All right, so we have to pick.
Unless you love. I mean, we've never done it before. Edwin, will you give us money back if we only spend $6? Do we get that $4 rollover to next week?
I say we go. Here's what I say.
Oh wow, look at this. Edwin says just an FYI. Next week I will redo the tiers, and I'm thinking of putting Kristen as the only FPO player in tier 1. So it'll be encouraging people to take 2 from tier 2, Holland and Evelina. I think that's smart.
Okay, so I think for the MPO, we pick Gannon.
Oh,
We
okay.
pick-
I don't hate it.
And then we pick Simon.
And then we go like a $1 guy.
Yeah, and then we go.
Mason Ford. He plays well at this tournament.
Yeah, let's go Mason.
Or
Mason's won it before.
Yes, different course, but yes. What about also Ricky? Kind of did something weird. People still think Ricky like gave it to him. I think, right? Wasn't that the weird like playoff? Was it Ricky?
Yeah, he putted it and it just like didn't get there. Or something.
Yeah, people were like, "Did Ricky just give
that
Mason
was
his
silly.
first win?" Mason's not playing this year. Thank you, Corey. Corey looking out for us. Jeez, we almost fell apart again.
What about
I don't hate Bradley or Rathbun. Prez? Is Prez about to jump on the scene here?
I like Rathbun's distance.
And
it's wide open. Let's go Rathbun.
All right.
Bradley's had a solid year, but I don't think he's taken a top 10 yet.
I think Yuli wants to take a time before he throws his name back in the mix.
Yeah, let's not. I need a breather after the last one.
All right, let's go Gannon, Simon, Rathbun.
And we're leaving Chris Dickerson out there. I think I like it. We could
Do you like that more? Real quick. Do you like Gannon, Simon, and Rathbun more than Dickerson, Macbeth, Simon?
I just feel like, and Gannon actually played horrible last year. I remember this.
Those would be my two. I mean, you could even throw in like Ezra Robinson. You could go Ezra Robinson, Macbeth, Simon. Ooh.
That's pretty. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. I got good feelings about Macbeth this week.
All right. We're going Robinson, Macbeth, Simon.
Yep.
I should have texted Ezra before to be like, hey, are you feeling it, man?
He's always feeling
it. Feeling it right now.
Did you see his ploy to get on the President's Cup team?
So good.
It was
you guys
really
haven't
good.
seen you guys haven't
really
seen
good.
his Instagram. Maybe we can get Mike to pull it up for us here if he can figure. I don't know how you get Instagram video.
It's really good.
But Mike, let me know if you can figure out how to do that. Because it was an all-timer for sure. All right. Edwin's got our picks. We're locked in.
We're going to Haley when Saranen's in there as the same. Whoa.
Yes, you were heavy on Haley.
I know, but I didn't realize that right next to her.
It's her first term of the year, and she's open bag. The only people I'd pick there would be Rebecca, Silva, or Macy.
Silva's nice. That's like a guarantee. I
She
feel
also
like
just
Silva.
lost. She also just lost to a course that's somewhat similar at Jonesboro to Kristen by like 25.
That's fine. Let Kristen win by 25. We get all those points and let her get second.
Oh,
I've literally been in here for days. What
oh, here we go.
Well, I saw my name was on the President's Cup list, and I thought I would come out here and try to make the team.
There's a lot of good people on that list. Why should people vote for you?
Well, because my motto is it's not what my country can do for me, but what I can do for my country.
Now, I'm pretty sure the people voting probably want someone patriotic to represent the country. Think you're patriotic enough?
Oh, I don't know, but I'll tell you what, I'll lay down my life for the country in a heartbeat.
What would it mean to you to be on Team USA?
It would mean the absolute world to me. I think I could bring a lot to the team, and my only regret is that I only have but one life to lose for my country. And I want you to go vote for me, voting as April 6th, link in my bio. Please, get me on Team USA.
The little wag, the little flag wave at the end.
It's great. It's great.
So, I mean, obviously, I think he's a no-brainer. I mean, he's one of the top 3 players right now in the world. So, no-brainer to have him on Team USA. And if he's going to put that amount of effort into showing that he actually wants to be a part of it, that's the type of guy that you want on there. So, make sure you guys go to his Instagram, vote for him, get him on Team USA. Love to see him out there. Are we officially switching Haley to Silva?
We have to.
All right. Edwin, we're switching.
Well, and it's a filler week for Haley. I like Haley. She's good.
We don't know, Yuli. We haven't seen her play.
No, but I mean,
in
come
forever.
on. Like, we've talked about her billions of times on the show of being like,
yeah, but if she's
two-way
just out-
player.
I agree.
Potential through the roof.
Through the roof. Yes. Should be
So
competing with Kristen week in and week out.
Okay, so it is a filler. If she wins.
The thing is like, it's a 50-50 shot on whether or not she wins or DNFs.
I know.
I mean, it's a coin flip on between the two
Silva's
versus
lock Silva in. Let's go, baby.
Okay, we're going Silva. All right, there we go.
We don't like
Fair
Gannon,
enough.
right?
She's like the stock market right now. Super
Gannon
volatile.
hasn't won this year, by the way.
There's been 3 tournaments. Relax, everyone. Everyone relax.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. Is it going to be this week?
Everyone's due. Ricky hasn't won this year either.
Yeah, that's true.
AB hasn't.
He didn't win 8 times. He didn't win 8 times last year.
That is true. Yeah. All right, we got a. I just screamed America. All right, couple questions here. Mint Disc released a short YouTube video today saying that they were changing hole 18 at Sprinkle Valley, adding a triple mando on the approach into the green. Are you giving them props for this? Okay, hold on. I saw a video yesterday that felt like it felt like they posted it yesterday to try to get people to think it was real because it's not April Fool's. Are we now saying that it is April Fool's, that they are? What video is real here? What's happening here?
I don't know. I'm so confused. I literally put on the video when I saw it. Please tell me this is an April Fool's joke, please. Because he like undid the basket and took it away. There's no way they did that.
Shay's saying that they faked the whole retirement.
Zach with Mint Discs here. Yesterday, we announced that we were removing hole 18 at Sprinkle Valley because it was basically unfair. It was too challenging. It was psychological. Unfair. But to be honest, those are all the things we love about this hole and love about this course. This is hole 18 at Sprinkle Valley. It's not going anywhere. Happy April Fools. We decided to make it a little harder.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
So for all those spectators at home on your couch, if you think this shot looks easy, come prove it. Love to see you try. You know where to find us. Welcome to Sprinkle Valley.
Okay, well, first off, 10 out of 10 video. The only thing they missed was the video should have just ended being him throwing it after all that straight into the Mando. And then it just
or
cut.
just picking up 20 discs around the
Yeah. Just like going up and there's like 50 discs after he throws the one shot. But all right,
I don't like
cool.
the Mando, I'll be honest. I think it's more people are gonna lay up now.
I think it's actually I was gonna say I think it actually might be helpful.
Yeah. It is.
It
made it easier.
Because also
you can't go from it for 320. You don't have the height.
That, and then the people that were missing the shot from like short, they were throwing it too high, and it was like high zooming out. So now you have that height.
Everybody's going to go over the green and be able to take it up from the drop zone.
No one, like, it almost like tells you like.
I hope they're listening to this. Get rid of the triple Mando, clean up the drop zone area, and leave it the same. Money.
Make a double Mando if you want to go diabolical.
Yeah.
Make the double Mando through the second shot, like you said. Clean that up, but have like a double Mando where you have to go through something for your second shot.
Deal. Yeah,
I like that. All right. So Jonesboro, I was texting Gooseman before the show. Jonesboro was a 2-day, 27-hole tournament. And I asked Juice, I was like, why was it 27 holes? Like, did you play 18 and then you played the front 9 again, or you played the back 9 again? Like, what's the situation? And basically what he told me was the TD wanted to give people an extra day to get to Nashville for the Disc Golf Pro Tour event. So they wanted to do a Friday, Saturday event, and they didn't realize for it to be considered an A tier that you actually had to play 54 holes.
Yeah.
So last minute, they basically added 9 holes that I think, my guess, Yuli, is that it's that Dark Horse course that's over there, right?
Yeah.
And it's definitely not that special of a course. It's definitely more of a beginner kind of course. And that's what kind of Gooseman said. A lot of birdie or die kind of holes where it just takes one shot. But it had people asking. Well, first off, I do want to say shout out to the TD because he was looking out for the players to try to get them an extra day. It just so happened didn't work that way. PDGA's got their weird rules that they have to abide by. But the question here, Yuli, is would 2-day events with 27 holes like Jonesboro this past weekend help the pros and the Pro Tour, giving Sunday either a travel day or a cut line for 18 holes for Sunday for fourth rounds on Sunday?
I mean, it wouldn't bother me. I'm flying in Monday no matter what. But yeah, I guess it would help with a travel day for sure. But I think honestly, there are going to be people who definitely use it for extra practice on the course and driving over there. But I also think more people would probably use that day for funsies.
Like in the city, most likely.
Yeah.
But let's talk about some of the cons here, okay? The one that jumps out at me right now, we already hear people talk about, I don't have 4 hours, 5 hours to watch disc golf on the weekends. Now you're trying to get them to lock in for 27 hours. Like, how long is that going to take? That might be a 6-hour round.
Oh, I thought they were just talking about like off tournaments.
Well, no. He's saying, like, is this
do it on the Pro Tour? No,
correct.
No. Nobody's gonna watch that. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Next question.
I don't think it
no.
makes. I don't think it makes sense
awful.
for the Pro Tour. But yeah, off tour, like,
yeah,
I wouldn't hate that. Like,
No.
instead of going to a tournament for 3 days,
yeah.
if you're like, hey, we're
Deal.
just playing 27 holes for 2 days, I think that actually might be better. For local tournaments. If
I just had it happen this last week. It was awesome.
Yeah. If USDGC is such a premier tournament, should it be more difficult to qualify? Joey Buckets played his first tournament and won in January, the Open at Tallahassee, and automatically qualified before playing his second tournament. I would like to know your thoughts. Thanks.
I think it's tough to qualify.
I think so too. They do. I would do away with some of these dark horse tournaments.
They have to do it because of the regions, I think.
Yeah, I think that's a dumb rule, but
I mean, doesn't like the US Open have the same rule? Like there has to be different regions that get it for qualifiers. I'm pretty sure that's true.
Yeah, but you're not showing up to a US Open qualifier with like 4 people that are good at disc golf. That's all I'm saying. I mean, here's the thing. Joey Buckets, he was going to qualify at one point in time throughout the season, right? So this isn't really a great example for him, but there are some tournaments. I think there was like one in Canada where like people were going. Now, what I'll say about it is I don't think there's enough top tier players right now where it matters, but I think down the line, you want people that are playing well in the Pro Tour to be able to qualify. And I know that in the past, there has been people that being like, hey, I'm going to go play this tournament off tour to qualify. And that would be the only thing.
I think what needs to happen is they need to have more people in the field.
At USDGC?
Yes.
What's the current field right now?
It's the same as the Pro Tour. So it's like probably
120?
Yeah, probably 120.
I wouldn't mind like a 150 field.
Of course. It's the US Open. Give more people a chance to qualify.
Women's needs to find a different course or play a different weekend because that's a lot of people on the course.
Yeah, have them play the weekend after that. Same course, same everything.
Yeah, I don't hate 150, then cut it down to 70 after Friday. I love that.
Yep.
Yeah, I love that. Ooh, here's a good one. Should disc golf end up getting into a little bit of what the PGA did recently and get a creator classic? So for those that don't know, a few weeks ago at the Players Championship, they got together some of the bigger, content creators in the golf space, and they all played a 18-hole tournament at the Players Championship, which was going to be played the next day. So they played it basically the day before. Should there be something like this in the future for, content creators in the disc golf space?
Maybe like in 10 years. Right now we're working with like 40 to 60,000 subscribers. I don't think you're really moving the needle, honestly. And most of the biggest YouTube content are I would say professionals anyway.
Majority of them for sure.
Like I can think of a couple offhand that aren't. Now it would be cool.
It was Grant who won it for golf.
Yeah. It would be cool if it was like, say, I wasn't allowed to do it, or you weren't allowed to do it, or Drew. Like none of us would be allowed to do it, and then you'd have like a bunch. Like if you're not playing on the Pro Tour, then you have a creator like tournament. That'd be sweet. But right now the biggest content creators are just other professionals.
Yeah, they did let the Bryan brothers, so Wesley Bryan does actually have his PGA Tour card. They did let him play in the event. He actually ended up having like a terrible day. It was kind of embarrassing. He posted about it on Twitter. If I'm him, I'm not playing in that event because there's just no winning. Like everyone's expecting you to win, and it's golf at the end of the day. That's the difference between golf and disc golf is golf, you could have a bad day and lose to someone that you're definitely better than, right? But
that's cool. That's cool that they get a chance to play against a PGA player too. So I guess there could be pros and cons to the whole thing and in both fields.
I'm saying most pros probably wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
Because there's no real benefit in doing it. But I'll say this. I'm with you. I think in a couple of years you got to build it out a little bit. But the one thing that I think the PGA missed on this event is they filmed it and like broadcasted it and did everything like it was actually a PGA Tour event.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that lost a little bit of why people watch these people on YouTube.
Yeah, you needed some funsy.
Players weren't mic'd up. You got to get cameras that are like handheld to move around. Give us the shots in the carts of people talking. Like, obviously they weren't.
Yeah, take us into their world.
Film it like a YouTube video, but just at a Disc Golf Pro Tour event, and they're playing an actual competitive round with multiple people. I think that would actually do well.
Yeah.
So, here you go. Why have some discounted Kristen's absolute dominance at Jonesboro? Even with a small field, she's 4th in points and beats Silva 5th in points. by 23. She also went 25 under in 54 holes. She beat the field and the course.
I mean, I don't think small tournament's going to move the needle for Kristen. I think at this point it's the World Championships, the US Championships, and the European Championships is the only thing that's going to propel this woman forward because she's that great.
Yeah, and we have seen Silva play well. She went on that crazy stretch over in Europe, winning I think 5 events in a row. We haven't really seen it as much over here though, Yuli. Kind of off to a little bit of a slow start. But yeah, I'm with you. I think we all know Kristen's really good.
Yeah.
And so unless someone is going to step up to the plate and challenge her, it's kind of a non-story.
I mean, Holland did just beat her.
Yeah,
she won.
We talked about that, and we talked about how Kristen fell apart on hole 18. Like that was a story. We discussed it.
Yeah.
But like her going to an off-tour event and winning by a whole bunch, I don't think that doesn't mean much, unexpected by any of us. Yeah. So you're assuming that had she not won, had Silva beat her by 25 or 23 shots, then we would have been like
bigger story.
What happened, right? Okay. What's the here you go. Mint Dish just posted they already took down the Mando banner. Wow. Look at that, Yuli. You're on them. What's the farthest? Oh, this is a good question for you, Yuli. What is the farthest distance you have driven a vehicle by yourself to play a casual round of disc golf? You might have met someone random there and played with them, but your intent initially was to drive alone and play alone. This is a great question. Mike, you can jump in this one too.
Sheesh.
This is a great question. Because I'm sure you've done this a bunch of times.
I think it was this. I mean, I drove to Florida, or I flew to Florida to play, but the whole entire week was about being by myself.
Casual round, though.
But a casual round? I don't remember a time playing a casual round by myself.
Really?
Probably 3 miles. Sometimes I go and play locally. Like I'm not driving. There's no way I've ever to film.
I guess it is tough for you. You've got like 100 courses within 3 miles of you. So it's like, it's not.
It'd have to be like when I was a kid driving to like Sholo Park. Yeah. I mean, it's been a long time because I'm either creating content. Like if I go to Charlotte, I'm going to make sure that I'm putting something for my YouTube channel. I'm not just going there. I'd rather go to a field and practice rather than just go play around.
Mike, you've driven far for a casual round?
Well, casual rounds, yes, but actually by myself, 15 minutes maybe.
Really?
I don't like playing by myself, but if it was with somebody, we've driven like just for a casual round, like 3-4 hours for a course we wanted to play or something, but by myself.
See, I think
I'm not good enough to have enough fun by myself, so very short.
Yeah.
I think for me, the reason mine's so long is there's not as many high level courses in Dallas. They're all par 3, like pitch and putts, majority of them. So when I really want to like go and play a course that requires you to throw like 2 fold shots on a hole, I got to go up to like Sherman. And that's a decent drive. So I've done that before. I've gone all the way up to Sherman, which 45 plus, close to an hour.
What's the farthest from tournament to tournament that you've traveled in a car? Like you're playing this weekend, you got to drive to get to this spot this other weekend by yourself.
Well, yeah, man, I've done some far drives. I'm trying to remember what they were. Because there was definitely times where like I would like there's been times, Yuli, where like I'll be pissed. I'll finish my final round and I'll play
and
terribly.
Just bounce, yeah.
And I immediately drive to the next tournament and I get a full practice round in.
Oh wow.
Like I'm finishing up my practice round while the winners are still
That's
finishing
crazy.
out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now that normally only works in certain areas where the drive's 2.5, 3 hours,
Yeah.
something like that. But I've definitely done that before. I don't think I drove out west. I think I flew out west. So
Okay.
it's gotta be something like when we did like Ledgestone, and then there was either nothing before Ledgestone or nothing after Ledgestone, and it was like a 6-hour, 8-hour
Yeah.
drive. No, because I've done 10 plus. I've done 10 plus in the car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mine was Maple Hill to play. I left there and I went and played the Cascade Challenge.
Oh my
But
god.
it was something different. It was called a different tournament or whatever. And I drove that week to Washington and played that weekend.
Oh. All right, which drive is easier? Driving to a tournament, regardless of how you do, but driving to a tournament or driving away from a tournament?
Which is worse?
Like, which is easier?
Depends on how you played. Like, I've won a couple tournaments and the drive was awesome.
I feel like the drive away from a tournament, it goes by so much faster because you can just replay so much stuff. Whether it's good stuff or bad stuff, you're just replaying all the stuff that happened over the weekend. So you just end up pulling into your driveway and you're like, oh man, that drive went by super quick. Where driving like to a tournament,
just forever.
You're just like, gosh, I'm ready to get out of here. I'm ready to play. I'm ready to go. All right. I love that question. Great question. All right. A couple more here. In wet rounds, do you throw just a little bit slower or dry off as best as you can and hope for the best?
Depends on the shot. Typically, I throw a little bit flippier and slow down a little. So I'm not going to just go after a shot. But I mean, my thing is if I keep this bad boy dry, shouldn't matter.
Wait, is the 64th player in the Disc Golf Pro Tour in the chat right now, Mike? Is that him? Logan Larson? Weren't we just talking about him? Or was it a different name? Jason Larson?
I thought maybe.
Jason Lawson. Okay, I thought we had the 64th ranked player in our chat.
Should be playing the match play right now.
I was like, what are the he says definitely not me. All right, my bad. Okay, is the Manufacturers Cup less exciting because of Discraft signing so many touring players? So we haven't, Edwin's making it. We haven't really discussed it too much this year. Two reasons. One, I think it's still early in the season, so I kind of want the season to kind of build out a little bit longer. But yes, I mean, to answer your question, does Discraft Super Team kind of destroy the Manufacturers Cup? Yeah, it does.
Yep. Good. Glad we broke it. Stupid. It was a stupid freaking game anyway.
But yeah, I mean, this shows you clearly that there would have to be stipulations, whether that's financial or
salary caps
or the amount of players that have the ability to actually score points. There would have to be something, because I mean, Discraft's just going to run away with this thing. Even if like a Gannon takes off and wins a whole bunch.
Yeah.
Who's getting second and third? Probably someone from Discraft. So yeah. All right. A little housekeeping. Like I said, I and Hunter and Trevor with Foundation, we're all going to be at the Music City Open this week. I believe we will be vending. I'll be there. Yeah, I think we're vending Friday and Saturday. So definitely stop by, say what's up to us Friday, Saturday. I think we're also going to get in are you an escape room guy?
No, never done one.
But
I want to.
What do you mean you've never done one?
I've never done an escape room. Never been in one. Don't know.
Are you just turning down invites every time someone invites you?
Kinda. I'm busy.
Are you scared?
No, I want to. I like it. I will do it, but I've just never. I'm a busy guy, man. I can't be trapped in a room all night.
You might be the only person I know that's never done an escape room.
I know everybody loves it. And I honestly think I'd be low key, like pretty nasty at it.
Okay, you're not allowed to say that if you've never done one, though.
No, you're allowed to.
You can't just
I
say
feel
that.
like
You're
if
gonna
you
be the
put me in a
greatest-
room and I had to figure out clues to get out of the room, I'm gonna figure my way out of there.
Do you know Robbie from Foundation? He is an escape room genie. He used to work at one.
Oh,
And he people call him the 5-time.
really?
Yeah, because that's
Wow.
how many. I think that's how many escape room records he has.
Holy cow!
So yeah, we're gonna do an.
What is it like? I don't even know what it's like. I just heard
It's so
other
much
people
fun.
talk. What do you
It's so
do?
much fun.
You just have like little things, and you need to like have
Well,
clues.
they're all different. Like here's the thing though. If you are gonna do your first one, do some research. Like talk to someone that knows escape rooms, because you could go to one that's absolute trash. There are
Okay.
trash escape rooms out
Yeah.
there that you're just like, this is lame. Also, the what are they called? Games talkers? Game seers? Whoever the person is, there's someone that like watches over you. So
Yeah.
there's cameras and everywhere, and they can talk to game masters. Thank you. The game master is like kind of watching you,
Yeah.
and you can ask for hints. And the game master can be like, oh, if you're stuck, blah, blah. But you can go to some escape rooms and the game master like hates their job. And he's just like, the key's under the rug. Like he just like
Sing
ruins
it.
it. Yeah, he
Sing
just
it.
completely ruins it for you. So,
Okay.
but yeah, essentially they lock you into a room, and there's a story, a theme normally around it, some sort of theme based around it.
Okay, like
And-
pirates or something. and-
Sure, pirates, and you're on a ship, and you got to find the buried treasure, right?
Hmm.
And then you got to escape the pirate ship. And
Cool.
so you're doing a bunch of different tasks, and a
I
lot of
love
times
treasure.
there's stuff too where it's like if it was just you wouldn't be able to complete it. So you have to be doing something on this side of the room while someone over here is doing something at the same time to then unlock something. There's ones that kind of suck where it's just like all codes. So it's like master locks and you just do codes. I don't like those. I like the interactive ones. So like the one we just did, like there was like not a fake gun, but like a gun in there, and a fake gun, but it actually did like shoot a laser. And when you
a
shot
real bullet, it was crazy.
and when you shoot something, it drops something out of the ceiling. So
Oh, okay.
like there's interactive ones like that.
Ooh, I
Those
like
are the
that,
ones
yeah.
I like a lot.
Yeah.
So we're gonna be doing one of those when we get up there, which will be fun. I love doing those. But yeah, should be good. You got to do one, man. I can't believe you have never done
The next time we're at a tournament, do research. Take me to a good one.
Ledgestone.
How many people do you need? Just 2?
Or
Or do you have a group?
I think
Do you need a
2.
group?
It's better with a group. Yeah, I mean, unless
I'll
we're
bring
like doing,
Brad.
unless we're
I'll
doing
bring
like
Brad.
date
He'll
night.
be useless, I think.
For doing date night, but yeah, no, we can get a group together. I mean, Gooseman would be probably hilarious in one of those things. Ezra would probably be funny too. So we can get solid crew together to do one. It'd
Let's
be
do
fun.
it. I'm in.
Yeah, it'd be fun.
I'm in.
We'll figure it out.
I just can't do Tuesday nights. I do tour life.
That is true. We can't do Tuesday nights. We can do it. We can do it Saturday night after I get eliminated from the cut.
I can't
Um,
do nights on Saturday. I'm doing commentary, my big guy.
Do commentary in the escape room.
Can't.
Okay, fair enough. Did we miss
Wednesdays.
anything? Did we miss anything this week?
No, I don't think so, man. Good show.
Mike,
Gary, dude, what was up with his eyeballs, dude? Guy's got beautiful.
I think Mike put a filter on him. I think Mike put a
that
filter
was
on him.
bull crap. Get out of here with those.
Mike, I think this was a 10 out of 10. How do you think you did? Self-assess here. Self-assess. First time producing tour life. Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Oh,
no.
no.
Oh,
Oh,
no.
Oh, no.
I'm still kind of shaky on some of these buttons, but yeah, we're doing okay.
That's a perfect way. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for listening tonight. It was a fun one. And we'll be back next week to talk all about Music City Open and how me and Yuli know more about disc golf than Hunter and Trevor. So we'll see you guys then. Have a good night.
See ya.